Hello, and welcome to the Lightworker Diaries, a space for reflection, truth-telling, and soulful remembering. My name is Tiffany, and I am a truth teller, a mystic, and a mirror. These are transmissions from my heart to yours, an archive of channeled wisdom, lived stories, and the real work of becoming. May something in here stir something in you. Hello, my friend, and welcome to the Lightworker Diaries. I am very excited to talk to you today about the Lionsgate portal. This is a portal that opens up every year around this time. There is a peak on 8/8 that a lot of people focus on numerology and the significance of that. But the Lionsgate portal is actually something rooted in astronomy and ancient Egyptian practices. So there's a lot more to this than just a repeating number. And we're going to dive into it today. So the actual Lionsgate portal occurs when the star Sirius comes above our horizon in the early morning hours. We are lining up with the star Sirius, which is the brightest star in our sky. And it holds a lot of spiritual significance as well. The star Sirius has been known to be associated with wealth, abundance, fortune, and fame. And so when we come into alignment, what is happening is that star is essentially in our path in the way that we are moving through the universe. So as our Earth is spiraling through the universe, this is when we are in the cosmic tail feathers of our spiritual sun, Sirius. So that is what is happening when people are talking about getting these energetic activations. This is what the ancient Egyptians also knew. So they were aware of this star and the impact that it had on how we express ourselves, how we create, how we move through this world. It's happening in the sign of Leo, which if you are not familiar with the zodiac sign Leo, these are the leaders, right? It's very leader energy. It is bold, self-expressive, courageous, powerful, king and queen. If you're more into the archetypes, king and queen energy. And a lot of us have heard king and queen, and we go to the shadow side where people are overstepping their power. And I want you to think about Leo as in right relationship with their power, the king who takes after his kingdom, the queen who takes after her queendom. And think about where you are in relation to your kingdom or queendom, right? You have a reality that you live within. You are the one who takes care of that reality just as that reality takes care of you. And so you are in relationship with your environment, with your kingdom or your queendom. And so as we step into this Lionsgate portal, which began on July 26th and extends all the way through into August, it peaks on August 8th. That is the day that a lot of people do activations and very specific things for this portal. But then this one in particular is closing on August 12th. And the significance of this, further expanded, is that it's closing in a full solar eclipse in Leo on August 12th, right? And we all know eclipses are huge energy shifts, right? Eclipse portals open and close over long periods, multiple month-long periods. And it's a great time to really step into the energies that are available. So that is part of what we're going to be experiencing over the next 17 days. We are not only getting energetic upgrades through this cosmic field that we're in because we're in alignment with the star Sirius. We're also in Leo season, which is that king and queen archetype. And then we have some other things happening, such as Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is hanging out in Leo as well. So as if Leo wasn't big, bold, badass that it is, Jupiter is like, let's do it even bigger. So this is the time that people are talking about 2026 being not your stereotypical Lionsgate portal. If you take and really get into the numerology piece, it is 8/8. 8 is a number associated with abundance, reciprocity, give and receive. And this year in particular is a triple eight, because if you take the 8th month, the 8th day, and the numbers 2026, if you condense that all the way down, so you add them all together until you get a single digit, that digit that you end up with is also an 8. So really, it's just laying it on thick, right? The buttercream frosting is as thick as it can go, and you're starting to think, is it going to even be able to hold on to the cake? And you're like, I don't care. I'm just going to eat it because it's so freaking good. That's where we're at. So we are diving into all of these really juicy energies. And the reason I want you to just take a breath with me for a second is because this might seem like a lot. So let's take a breath. Nice exhale. The beauty of these timelines and these initiations and these activations are that they're happening for you. Every single thing that is available for you during this time period and the time period that exists as your entire life are all happening for you. During this particular portal window, there are individuals across the world who are specifically tapping into these themes or patterns or energies. And because of not only the energetics that are coming through planetarily, numerologically, we have this collective amplification that's also happening, which allows each us individually to tap into these frequencies with greater ease. So let me put that into an example that's a little bit easier to understand. Let's imagine that you just walked into a conference room, and let's say there's 12 people sitting around the table, and these people are all super duper happy. They are laughing. They're, some people are kind of, hand on the back of another person. They're leaning in, they're listening to each other. There's, just the whole vibe of the room feels so good. When you walk into that room, you're going to feel that. And it's going to be contagious, right? You might overhear a little joke and start to kind of giggle to yourself. You might walk up to somebody and want to hug them instead of just shake their hand because you're like, this just seems like a huggy kind of group. But being in that place, your vibration naturally rises to meet the group's energy. And I know that you have felt this. I know you have been around people that you're like, that person just makes me feel good. And this doesn't even have to be a person in real life. If you've ever watched comedy and you find yourself laughing, the reason why they do comedy shows and they have people like comedians who come on before the headliner is those comedians are warming up the people in the room so that they're already in a higher state of vibration. They're already laugh ready. So by the time the headliner comes out, people are practically rolling because their vibration's already there. That's the beauty of portal activations like Lionsgate. It is kind of like the perfect storm for a timeline shift that you're asking for. It's like you have all the perfect ingredients and you get to just enjoy the ride. So the reason why I wanted to really share this with you today is this is not about force whatsoever. This is about anchoring into the receiving of what is already coming to you and stepping into that cosmic boardroom with the collective that's already saying, yes, me please, I'll take it, and helping to anchor that energy into our world. I used to apprentice with a shaman. I worked with her for about 8 years. And in one of the visualizations that we were doing, a vision came to me that was so profound. I don't think I'll ever forget it. But it was showing humans as acupuncture needles into the earth. So essentially, we were connecting to this solar energy, pulling down our cosmic truth. And because we were connected to the earth, we were anchoring those cosmic truths into the earth, shifting the earth's vibration. And so when I think about this work of the Lionsgate portal and the abundance, the healthy power, the sovereignty, the expression, the visibility, this is the time, not only do we get to anchor it for ourselves and for those around us, but we do this for the earth. We do this for the thing that provides us never-ending support, no matter how cranky or happy we are each day. So let's dive into some of the activations that might be showing up over the next 17 days. A lot of people use this window for manifestation. They get really clear on exactly what they want and they dial it in and they say, this is what I'm going for from a manifestation perspective. If you didn't listen to last week's Quantum Leap episode, maybe go back and take a listen. But this is a prime time for Quantum Leap. The ability to see into the future and anchor into that version of you who already has what you desire and using that to pull you forward in its direction. This is the time. This is the time. I mean, it's available all the time, but this is like they give you the easy pass. So play with manifestation, play with this cycle. You might notice that karmic patterns are going to come to a close. There might be loops or soul contracts or other things that come to an end because they no longer continue to follow you into the next reality. If, for example, you set an intention for abundance, you might be facing all of the places where scarcity still has a hold in your life. And you will have to make decisions that are different than what you've done before to close out those karmic loops or close out those soul contracts or decide this is what I'm no longer available for. You may experience emotional clearings. So as an example, if you were 7 years old out on the playground and little Johnny thought it would be cute to see how far he could spit and you walked into the line of fire and he spit on you instead of on the ground, and you took that to mean that you were somebody who was worthy of being spit on and let's just be real. This is something that happened to me. And I was shook. I was shook by that. I got spit on in elementary school. And the reality is, in the moment, I didn't have the tools to process the emotional stuff that was happening. None of us did. We were kids. So we did what we were taught to do, survive, manage it, suppress it. And in doing that, we may have emotions in our body that are waiting to come out. And whether it's being in the Sirius star stream or being around other people who are willing to do emotional release that trigger safety in your body to also release the emotions that are no longer necessary or needed for your own soul's development, you may notice that you might cry for reasons you didn't understand. You might laugh for reasons you don't understand. You might go through bouts where you're angry. And that's just normal because your body is doing what it needs to do to heal. And so if you feel particularly tender over the next 17 days, do what you need to support your body. Another theme that's coming up is visibility and self-expression. I have been a part of multiple groups over the last probably 60 days, and they are all content creator groups. And watching people really start to shine in self-expression, learning what their voice sounds like, what their expression is like, watching them build up the confidence in their creativity. This is going to continue. This is definitely going to continue. We're going to see more people putting themselves out there in ways that they haven't before. And even if that's just saying no to more things, or conversely saying yes to scary things, or having the conversations that they've been putting off for a very long time. I talked about this a little bit last week too. Dave and I are talking about travel. What does that look like? What does our current house look like for us? Can we keep both? Do we move on to the next thing? We're not sure. We're having conversations about what comes next, and that is expression. So conversations and creativity and connection are shifting. And in regards to creativity, we're going to see more heart-centered creativity. Not creativity for performance, but creativity for the joy of creativity. And so just notice if you feel inspired to do something creatively, whether that's sing, dance, draw, paint, build, sow, whatever it is that you feel called to, do it as a joy practice. That is a very Leo thing to do. Do something for the joy of it. And so that is one of the things you can do to anchor into the patterns and themes that are currently available in this portal. You will also notice that we're going to start initiating new timelines. For some of you, you're going to pop right into that new timeline and because you've been doing the work. For some of us, we're going to be stepping into that. And timelines overlap, right? It's not just one. So you might be working on something very in-depth in your career and realize that the only way for that to come to full closure and step into the next thing is if you start to do some work in relationships. I will tell you that's my personal path right now. I'm not receiving any stickiness in my career timeline, but I have some work to do in the relationship component in order to move to the next level. And so, although I've been working really hardly on career, creativity, self-expression in regards to my service in the world, I'm moving into a place where I'm looking at that through the lens of relationships. So whether you are looking at health, wealth, relationships, there's a bunch of other things. You might be working through a couple timelines here. So this was a lot of information. And I know that was a lot of information. And some of it may be new and some of it may be not new. But I want to just invite you into something. This is me inviting you for the joy and the fun of the joy and the fun. I have decided that I'm going to channel the energies of each day for the Lionsgate portal from July 26th through August 12th. And so each day I'm putting together an audio drop that will support what's alive in the energetic field, the activations that are available, the integrations to support that. Each transmission is supported by my spirit team, the spirit team of the collective who are helping through this portal, and the individual guides of those who are participating in the program, all of the ones who are here for the highest and greatest good of this timeline. And I'm just so excited to get back into this space that I haven't shared with you in quite some time. And my intention for this is to provide you a space where if you don't know what to do or if you're not really aware of what's happening and you would like to be guided through the portal, this is your place to show up and receive. Each drop comes as a daily private podcast feed on whatever podcast platform that you listen to. And I'm offering this for free. So this is something you can kind of tune in whenever you would like. You can decide if you're going to binge all the episodes on the 8th, listen to one a day just as they're dropped, or maybe just listen to the ones that you feel called to. Your intuition will tell you. There is an $8 encouraged donation that will help support the transmission, but it is not necessary if you're not in a place to provide that sort of energetic exchange. That is okay. Like I said, I think this is so much fun and I love playing with these energies. So I'm doing it because I love it. And because I love it, I want to share it with you too. And because of all the interesting, exciting, and transformational energies that are available right now, I really just want you to be a part of it. Like, let's go on this journey together and see what's possible for us in 17 beautifully delicious days. Along with our guides, let's anchor into that new, abundant, fully expressed, fully creative timeline and just have some fun with it. Like, let's really have some fun with it. So regardless of when you are hearing this episode, if it is on the day that it's released or 2 weeks from now, it landed in perfect time just for you. There's a link in the show notes. Go ahead and click that. Get yourself signed up for the transmissions. And I look forward to seeing you. I hope you have an amazing Lionsgate, and we'll talk again very, very soon. Thank you for listening to the Lightworker Diaries. If something stirred in you today, take a breath and let it land. To go deeper, you can subscribe to the written diaries on Substack. You'll find a link in the show notes. Until next time, be true to you.